Everyone has their quirks, but the peculiarities of famous individuals are particularly fascinating. Many of them had unconventional habits that might seem eccentric. Hans Christian Andersen wrote his works with numerous mistakes. He often rewrote his fairy tales, fearing they would not be accepted. Before publication, he hired proofreaders to correct spelling and grammatical errors. Additionally, he always carried a notebook to instantly record ideas that came to mind. Friedrich Schiller kept rotten apples in his desk, believing their smell helped him find inspiration. He also worked with his feet in a basin of cold water, thinking it helped him concentrate. Another of his habits was writing exclusively with fountain pens, which he carefully selected. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe had a deep fear of drafts and avoided open windows. He could not tolerate the smell of tobacco and garlic, but adored violets, scattering their seeds during walks. He also recorded his dreams, believing they could inspire new ideas. Moreover, he believed in the magical power of stones and carried a piece of rock crystal, thinking it enhanced his intellectual abilities. Henrik Ibsen kept a portrait of August Strindberg in his office, claiming that his rival's mad eyes helped him work. He believed it kept him on edge and motivated him to refine his works. He also preferred complete silence while working, avoiding any distracting sounds. In his later years, he developed a habit of writing down every phrase he heard if he deemed it noteworthy. Guy de Maupassant despised the Eiffel Tower and even signed a petition for its demolition. However, he dined daily at the restaurant on its first level, explaining that it was the only place where he didn't have to see it. He referred to the tower as a horrible iron skeleton that ruined Paris. Charles Dickens took a sip of hot water every 50 lines he wrote and drank half a liter of champagne daily. He was obsessed with symmetry and ensured that objects on his desk were arranged in perfect order. The writer also slept with his head strictly pointing north, believing it improved his health. He always carried a compass to ensure his bed was positioned correctly. Honoré de Balzac worked at night, consuming up to 50 cups of coffee a day. Over time, coffee lost its effect on him, and he began chewing coffee beans. Doctors believed that his excessive caffeine intake contributed to his early death. Mark Twain smoked up to 40 cigarettes or pipes a day. His house was filled with tobacco smoke, which even his numerous cats had to get used to. He believed that smoking helped him concentrate, and he often joked that giving up the habit would ruin his writing career. Nikolai Gogol had a deep fear of being buried alive and requested to be laid to rest only after clear signs of decomposition appeared. He was also religious, reclusive, and passionate about cooking. During his travels, he always carried his favorite foods and considered dumplings the perfect dish. Victor Hugo, while working on The Hunchback of Notre Dame, shaved his head and beard to avoid leaving the house. Sometimes he even ordered his servant to take away his clothes so he wouldn't be distracted from writing. Additionally, he wrote standing up, claiming it helped him stay alert and focused. Franz Kafka led a secluded life and was extremely meticulous. He ate exclusively dairy products, suffered from anxiety, and had an intense fear of physical contact with people. He was also obsessed with cleanliness and washed his hands so often that his skin was constantly cracked. Ludwig van Beethoven refused to shave before working and poured cold water over his head. He also insisted that coffee be brewed with exactly 60 beans, carefully measuring them each time. Moreover, he often hummed melodies aloud during walks, recording new musical ideas. Albert Einstein never wore socks, considering them useless. He explained that they wore out too quickly and that holes irritated him, so he preferred to do without them. Additionally, he often forgot to comb his hair, which made it always appear disheveled. Leonardo da Vinci adhered to a sleep schedule where he napped for 15 minutes every 4 hours, believing it allowed him to spend less time resting and more time working. He also recorded his dreams, hoping they would aid his scientific discoveries. Salvador Dali used the technique of hypnagogic sleep. He would fall asleep holding a spoon, and when it fell, he would wake up, remembering the images that appeared in that moment. He believed these moments between sleep and wakefulness allowed him to tap into his subconscious and draw inspiration for his art. Nikola Tesla slept no more than 2 hours a day, claiming it was enough for him. He avoided physical contact with people and was extremely meticulous about food, measuring its weight and volume before consuming it. Additionally, he hated round objects and avoided anything circular in shape. Sigmund Freud was a passionate coffee drinker and smoked about 20 cigars a day. He also had an obsessive attachment to the number 23, which appeared in his notes and life decisions. Moreover, he always kept a small figurine on his desk, claiming it brought him luck. Fyodor Dostoevsky was addicted to gambling and frequently lost large sums of money. Once, he signed a contract with a publisher requiring him to write a novel in the shortest time possible, or he would lose the rights to his works. This led to the creation of The Gambler. Vincent van Gogh suffered from mental disorders and, in moments of despair, ate paint and drank turpentine. Despite his instability, he created masterpieces that changed art history. He also wrote letters to his brother Theo, sharing his thoughts and experiences, leaving behind a valuable document of his time. Isaac Newton was so absorbed in his work that he often forgot to eat and sleep. On one occasion, he became so distracted that he accidentally boiled his pocket watch instead of an egg. He also conducted experiments on himself, inserting needles into his eye to study optical phenomena. Lord Byron was fascinated by exotic animals and kept a pet bear in his home. While studying at Cambridge, he even tried to keep it in his university instead of a dog. He often joked that the bear was more well-mannered than many students. Thomas Edison slept only 4 hours a day and considered sleep a waste of time. He experimented with his diet, trying to determine which foods improved brain function. In his search for the perfect diet, he tested the most unusual food combinations. These unusual habits of great people prove that even the most outstanding minds have their quirks. Perhaps these very eccentricities help them achieve success. See you in the next story.